Hello students. So till now we have seen that the story, The Blue Bead, it begins with a description of a huge crocodile which is twice the size of a man and how it raises its eyes and nostrils to get fresh air and sun. And this crocodile is so fierce and strong that nothing would pierce its skin apart from the vulnerable places like its eyes and underarms. And we also saw that besides this hungry crocodile, there is a blue bead, the so-called blue bead glimmering in the water. So the writer Nora Burke, she began the chapter with the description of this hungry crocodile, and in the following paragraphs, she shifts the description to a 12-year-old village girl named Sibia, who lives in under extreme poverty, and how she wears a rag and she wishes that she makes a bead necklace for herself. This is the only desire which she has got, that she wants a necklace for herself, and how she goes with her mother and the other village women to get paper grass and sell them in the market. And she does all these daily chores, this laborious work, without complaining about the hardships of her life. And she has been collecting these seeds, these lal beeges, okay, the magenta color seeds which are as hard as stones, and she has been trying to drill them with a red hot needle to make beads. But what happens, the needle that she uses to pierce this red color seeds, it snaps, and now she will have to wait till they could buy another needle. So they were so poor that they could not even afford an inexpensive thing like a needle. We continue with the chapter, girls. Page 97. I'll read from the second last paragraph. So this paragraph, okay, this paragraph and the following paragraph, it describes the Gujars, that is the nomadic graziers. You can keep your books ready. Page 97, second last paragraph. Sibia glanced at the Gujar women as she went past. They wore trousers tight and wrinkled at the ankles, and in their ears large silver rings made out of melted rupees. And one of them was clinking a stick against the big brass ghadas in which they fetched or they brought water from the river for the camp, to see which ones were empty. The men and boys were out of camp just now with the herd or gone to the bazaar to sell produce, but one or two buffaloes were standing about, creatures of great wet noses and moving jaws and gaunt black bones. So this is the description of the buffaloes. Okay, buffaloes are described here as creatures of great wet noses and moving jaws because they were always chewing fodder or grass, and gaunt black bones. Now the Gujars were Junglis, as Sibia too. So Sibia too, which is the main character, she's the main character in the story. Okay, she too is being described as a Jungli. So the Gujars were Junglis, as Sibia was too, born and bred in the forest. For countless centuries, countless or many centuries, their forebears or the ancestors had lived like this, getting their living from animals, from grass and trees, as they scratched their food together and stored their substance in large herds and silver jewelry. So these Gujars, they worked very hard, okay? They were very hard-working people, and they had to slog to earn their livelihood. And their real wealth or investment was in the large herds. It's written here, in large herds and the silver jewelry. So they invested in these herds and silver jewelry. So neither were they, the next few lines it says that they were man in the wandering pastoral age, not stone age hunters and not yet cultivators. So it says that neither were they stone age hunters nor were they modern day cultivators. So these Gujars, they were just nomads. Now there was the river, twinkling or shining between the trees, sunlit beyond dark trunks. Trunks are the bark of the trees. They could hear it rushing along. The women came out on the shore and made for the stepping stones. They had plenty to laugh and bicker about as they approached the river in a noisy crowd. So the women, these Gujar women, okay, as we all know that women are very, very talkative beings. They always have plenty to discuss and to talk. So these women, they were laughing and bickering as they approached the river. They they folded up their skirts because they wanted to cross the river. So as to jump from stone to stone, and they clanked is making noise with the metal, their sickles and forks together over their shoulders to have ease of movement. So for easy movement, what they did, they hung the sickle and fork. These are the instruments which are used by the Gujar women for cutting fodder or grass. So they hung over their shoulders to have easy movement. They shouted their quarrels above the gush of the river. Noise frightens crocodiles. So crocodiles, these reptiles, these huge reptiles, okay, these fierce reptiles, they are very, very shy creatures. They are scared. They are afraid of noise. So these Gujar women, they knew this fact well, that these crocodiles, they are frightened of noise. So on purpose, while crossing the river, they would shout, they would laugh and do all sorts of things just to make loud noise to frighten away these crocodiles. The big mugger did not move, and all the women crossed in safety to the other bank.